Good morning. Happy to see you all here. And I'm delighted to be here with you. That goes without saying. I should thank the organizers for having invited our organization and me to share our views on the subject. All that I can say is that I'm going to share my personal thoughts on the subject, having served in the same space for more than 3 to 4 decades. So I'll spend some time on my thoughts, not something that you don't know. And the second, after the few minutes, I'll make a presentation of the organization I work for, so you know where I come from and what I do. Then I will leave some space, if the time permits, for take any questions. Is that okay? Okay. So, this is a well-known, understood, spoken skill gap that exists always between academia and industry. This is not something new. This has been there for ages. It's not something that erupted because of pandemic or because of technology. There was a gap between the academia and industry, and one was chasing the other. All that I can say is that the moment academia acknowledges and industry understands that there is bound to be a gap, that we acknowledge this gap. Acknowledging the gap is already half the solution provided to you. Because you go to a doctor and you say so many things, but then doctor says this. You have to acknowledge. We acknowledge, then half the solution is gone. Maybe your temperature drops down to normal. So, understanding of the gap, that there exists a gap itself, is a solution. All of us do agree that the word that drives us, the word that pushes us, that the word that innovates today is a word called disruption. The disruption happens from the time you get up in the morning, look at your alarm, timepiece, or whatever, your schedule, until you say good night to your friends. That is disruption. What we did, what we were used to, is not there anymore. It has changed the way we think, it has changed the way we feel, it has changed the way we work. So, you add this to the technology, and that makes it a digital disruption. But the way the world has moved to handle this is amazing. It's not anymore you study, you pass your exam, some campus interview, and you accept the best and move there and start your career. It's no more, it is there. It has changed. The way we work from 9 to 5, make our bosses happy, make our subordinates unhappy, and we reach home maybe to face your wife who is already thinking you are late. But then, all of us are looking at various avenues to make our life worth its living. So, if you're working from 9 to 5, or 8 to 4, you have 2 hours, 3 hours, you want to make the best of it. You want to do something more than what you are used to. And this economy has grown considerably. All of us have one work to do and one more work to earn more money. This is the way life has changed. And this has resulted in a world, and that world is highly volatile. We call it a good name for it, VUCA world. Let's see if it works. Now, this slide shows in a way how the technology has impacted you until 2010 or 2020. Thereafter, it's just mounting on you, sitting on top of you, making you do things differently every second. And you have a disruption of the kind that we are not used to. You turn around, you have artificial intelligence and quantum mechanics, you name them, IoT, all of them there just to bombard you. And we call it a digital disruption, a kind word for what is happening to mankind. I was talking to you about the gig economy. This maybe figures are not so current, but you can see the way it has grown. The gig economy grown considerably during the last 2 to 3 years. And everybody, earlier when you were studying in college, did we ever know the word gig or the economy? And today, it is on top of the world. Everything in gig economy. We stay with this for a while. What is important? Why it has become volatile? Why it has become uncertain? Why it's become complex? And why it has become ambiguity? Why it has become so? Technology has always been moving. It was not stationary. But there's one thing that is happening today. The rate of change of technology that happens in the application in the industry is faster, very dynamic, and academia has to respond to this rate of change. It's not so easy. We can simply say academia is not doing, but the rate of change that is happening today, to keep in pace at academia, it is too much to expect. You have to acknowledge they are doing their best. All the doctorates are doing their best to transfer the best of knowledge and skill. But what happens when they join the industry? It is application of your knowledge and skill, at which time the students from the university or students from the vocational colleges see something totally different. So what it causes is the volatility in the whole environment. You can read the slide, which is what causes this to the whole mankind, to the colleges, to the industry, is total uncertainty. And uncertainty causes its own damage in our thinking. We are not able to plan anything for the next 3 years. What is that we should do to make academia deliver what the industry wants. The right answer would be even the industry does not know. The industry is also working hard with all of us because they have to survive. They have to survive, so they change the way they were designing things, the way they were processing, the way they were delivering. And so, in this uncertainty, one has to invest both in academia and in industry, and this makes it highly complex. Human mind is known to follow a logics. Here there is no logic. What appears to be a logic today changes this afternoon, changes this day after. So in this uncertainty, how do we move forward? We are not keeping quiet. This is the strength of the mankind. We are fighting and fighting every second to reduce this gap that exists between what the what the academia manages to do to support and satisfy the industry. This race will continue. This race will not be closed after this meeting. All of you have listened. Oh, there is an answer. Then we go back and do this. We are used to the word job roles in the industry. It is no more valid. These job roles have become so dynamic. What all this puts pressure on the academia to be highly responsive. There is one way I would say, most of the Asian nations, the parents take care of the education of their wards, children. So they are willing to spend on education and not on training. The industry is willing to pay any amount for hiring but not developing the resources. So this is something that the society, the industry, the academia should accept, and a change of mindset is important in this, that industry needs to spend money on developing the manpower. The parents must be willing to spend money on educating their wards. This word forecast, I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is no relevance. You cannot forecast tomorrow. And we need to be prepared for this. I have some examples of how the academia passed out students can interface with the industry. And the word that is very much prevalent in the industry is today upskilling and reskilling for whatever it is worth. And they try their best because they want to keep the production going. There is a college in India, not mine, another college, where the final year students are connected with the different industry in India and individually connected. There is a head of the department as a mentor for a student. And the student knows in the next 4 months, 5 months, when I leave my college, where I'm going to work, with whom I am going to work, what are my coordinates, who are my other managers with whom I need to work with. He's totally prepared. So it is a movement from the academia into the industry. He is prepared for the full semester. He knows exactly what he is going to do. Well, this is planned like this, maybe being practiced like this. But I'm not very sure in today's context, even that will work. Because the manager who seems to be the mentor, he has to go through a big drill to keep himself abreast of what is happening. So this model is another model which brings an academia very, very close, and they were very successful 3-4 years back, that all the students are placed. You ask him, whom are you going to work with? He will give you the name of the person under whom he is going to work, which company, what is his job role. But I'm not very sure today that it is valid. But this is the closest I have come to create a good interface between academia and industry. Of course, all of you know this perfection in any form is a journey, and it is not a destination. We keep working and working and closing and closing and inching to reduce this gap. So, with this, I will stop about the caption given to me for the industry academia gap. I repeat that you accept and acknowledge there is a gap, half your problems are gone. Then you find ways and means of interacting with them. You have to start with the academia, you have to start with the industry leaders. They have to come together because they also don't know honestly. This is my humble opinion, that the industry today does not know what will be the technology that they have to hope for and train them tomorrow. All of us are groping in the dark because our past has been very good. Even our organization trained people and placed them in the industry almost 99%. Everybody is happy. But that may or may not be the case. Most likely not the case of tomorrow. So this, all of us should understand that we are going through highly complex situation that warrant our attention, and not to get despair, but to work for it and make the gap inch by inch closer and closer. But we can never ever close this gap. And with this, I will stop my presentation on my thoughts on whatever I feel on the academia-industry relationship. I will just move back to my organization, so you know that I'm not talking, of course my hair is not there, I used to wear a hat. So, I need the MC's
support. I'm right here. I'm here for you, doctor. Give him a round of applause, please. Give him a round of applause. I know he's going to talk more about his company and how they're training so many professionals. How are we doing here on the technology? You know, we're moving to the next one?
No, next.
Yes, boss.
Yeah.
Collaborations? Here we go. Good.
So I just want to share with you what we do in this organization in India. We started our journey way back in 1959. Yeah, it goes and then it comes. Yeah. Where is the MC? You gave me the wrong signals here. Okay, doesn't matter. Stay there. So we started our organization before the India started, or the world started feeling the pinch of skills. Way back in 1959, we started. And the intention being to provide a decent employment for the rural youth of India. That was the prime intention. And started with a lot of Swiss. Maybe our organization was full of Swiss, maybe 12 Swiss any time. And you know, Swiss are all known for their precision. But the manager with whom I worked was wearing a wooden scale in his pocket, and which can only read in centimeters or millimeters. But we were doing something much higher. And so our entire program was built on the lines of the European apprenticeship. And the program that was chosen, that will get easily a job in the industry was tool engineering or tool and die making. This is what we started. Now the tool and die making, prior to that we never had we had the skills like fitter, welder, machinist. Like that, it is individual specific skills. Whereas a tool and die maker is a combination of all put together, rolled out. So an industry will be able to hire them not just as an operator, but somebody who can deliver a product or a component. Over a period, this one center has moved into so many centers. You can see that we have more than 50 centers in India at the moment. And whatever we call as a tool engineering has become a digital manufacturing. So all these programs, we have more than 15 programs today, well respected and current with the tomorrow's tomorrow's requirement. Okay. We have pan-India presence and more than 800 trainers we have, fully qualified, competent trainers. One of the main focus is to train the trainers in NTTF, that they are available, because you can see again, the big companies like in India, like Infosys, TCS, they are losing 17% of their employees today. Every year, they're moving out. And the biggest consumer is the latest buzzword, what do you call it, Sudarshan? Startups, right? They take highly experienced people, so you really can't stop this movement. But we have to prepare and train our people with adequate trainers. Just to say that we are all over India. We started, this is very important, we started working with the industry partners even after the Swiss left. When the Swiss left, maybe there was no Cisco, no Intel, but we created the connect between all these industries for each one for the specialty. Fanuc for their automation, Bosch for Industry 4, and Amazon, Intel. So this gives us what is the current requirement of those industries, and we can build and reduce the gaps. I continue to say this gap cannot be closed, but it can be reduced. And we started with all these industry partnerships in our training program. Ours is a 3-year program. We give our own diploma. Then for graduate engineers, we have a postgraduate program for 2 years. This is just a shot of an industry Bosch, of Industry 4.0. Wow, my hand is... Okay. Anyway, one slide shipped, doesn't matter. So we come out with a reasonably good solution of an industry partnership, which is called the Learn and Earn program, in which our students will work 5 days in the industry and under our supervision. We have our supervision, same ratios for our academic. We started way back 12 students to one instructor, moved up today to 20 students to one instructor, and this could be about 30. But we will have instructors on the line looking after the students, besides the students producing what the industry wants. And the industry pays the student a handsome stipend through us. So student gets what he wants. He's not a charge on the parents. Industry gets what they want. And we, the training providers, we could be encouraged and active in this model, which we call a learn and earn model. This is the same, explaining to you how the government has also come out with a program called NEEM, National Employment Enhancement Mission, which is for students pursuing higher studies. So we take them into our fold and do our diploma along with another university education. I spend more time in trying to change. This is Ashok Leyland, you know the company in India. I call the training center as a White House. Such a beautiful training center, the latest equipment, softwares, you name them, it is there, it is up in the north. And anytime we have 700 to 800 students inside the factory. They go to our training center 100 every day. So they keep rotating without creating a loss of production. So there's about 10% extra people you take on the shop floor, right from material inverting to all the processes, painting, welding, testing, and sending the vehicle out is done by the students. This is some of our partners. You can see all the big industries in India are approaching us for this. I think we have more than 55 partners of different industries. The good part of it is you don't have to be the expert in anything. I just define an expert is one who knows more and more of less and less. And here you don't have to do anything. You go to we run a glass industry. We can only spell glass. But the industry, from the way you charge until the glass flows out, it's all microcontrolled. And our students are there to manage everything at the end of the day. And so this gives you an opening into areas where you need not necessarily know the full process. And so that's a big advantage. And the students at the end of the program are free to continue after the program is over in the same industry, or they can take up jobs depending where the wives come from or the girlfriend comes from. They can move and take the job where they like.
Amazing presentation. I know we're having a little difficulty with that clicker, so be sensitive to it. But I know you have your whole team here, right, Doctor?
Pardon? I didn't get you.
You have your whole team here. All done? Give him a round of applause. Doctor, thank you so much. Reguraj, all the way from India, thank you.
Thank you very much for a patient hearing. All the very best to you. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you very much.